We're here. Sorry, I'm a few seconds late. I was actually trying to figure out how to broadcast ourselves onto the live stream, but how is everyone doing? Okay, so let me pull up the... you seeing me? I'm not seeing my preview. I'm just going to pull up the page so I can actually just double check that everything's moving as it should do. So, wild and crazy times, everyone. Basically, we have put this course together so that you guys can... I'm just going to mute myself. Yeah, so you can provide some structure with what you're doing over the next couple of weeks, months, forevermore. This session is just for year 12 students. Come back in an hour's time and there will be a session for year 13 students. So year 13 coming up, but just in, yeah, we're going to start in an hour's time, basically, for that. In this session, I'm going to be looking at year 12 content, a nice overview of what is the AS content. A lot of you won't have finished it right now, and we're going to basically find out what are the major topics that you have done, what are the major topics, most importantly, that you have not done, and then I have built a schedule. I'm going to show you how to sign into the biology Exambulance. I have literally just launched it. 3 people have signed into it already, and I don't even know how you found it, so good on you. And we will be setting you up, and I'm going to be giving you the schedule. So the schedule is going to basically be this time of day, every day. We're going to be here doing AS content Monday to Friday. Going to be 45-minute sessions, boom. And then at 11 o'clock, I'm going to start with year 12 content. So you're going to get basically an action hour with me each day. Year 12's the focus is going to be completing your AS content. We're going to then mix in a bit of exam practice, and we're probably going to culminate with a TT mock so that you can practice and test yourself and see where you're at. With your year 12s, I'm actually even going to go on and start introducing you to the year 13 content a bit later on in the summer as well. Year 13 content, if you are a year 13, you're welcome to be here, but I'm just going to be reviewing the year 12 content. I'm not going to be answering any year 13 based questions because there is a session coming up in 53 minutes time. So you can wait. Okay, so I can barely see the chat. Okay. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat as best I can. If there are recurring questions, then I will do obviously my best to answer it. What is the Exambulance? Let's start with that. Basically, it's a free course from us. We were going to be preparing you for the exams. Exams obviously not taking place this year, so we're basically adapting it so that we can give you structure and cover all the content. With your year 12s, we are going to take responsibility no matter what your school's doing. They are probably in chaos. Like, we are going to take responsibility for teaching you the content, making sure that you understand everything super well and that you learn the exam technique that you need, because if you ask any year 13s in this chat right now, you need to start your exam technique super early. Any year 13s who are here, what is your advice for year 12 A-level biology students? Just that will be before they all disappear and come back in a little bit. What is your advice to year 12 students? Because biology is content dense. Exam technique is super important. You can't just learn the content. And you guys in year 12 right now are going to be, if you don't use someone like us, your teachers are going to be hard pushed to complete the content. It's hard enough to finish the content anyway for A-level biology, but you're going to be missing 2, 3, 4, 5 months of school potentially. And with that, you're going to be way behind with your content. So that's going to mean you are going to neglect exam practice until way too late. And so if you work with us, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. I'll make sure you are introduced to exam practice nice and early so that it's not like a disaster when you come to, you might have finished the content by May next year, but you won't have had the time to practice everything. So stick with us and we'll make sure I'll cover that. I'm going to be covering the 3 exam boards, AQA, OCR-A, basically nobody does OCR-B, and EdXL-A, or the Salters-Nuffield SNA-B, which is the EdXL-A. It will be highly relevant to students doing WJ, HCAS, IALs, but the content that the specs that I know inside out and back to front are those 3. So it will be useful to all of you, but it will be for those. Just as always, in my live classes. Okay, where to begin? Let's go. I'm going to share my iPad, I think. I'm going to go back over here. And in fact, do you want to, I think you probably guys, you just want to jump straight in to getting the Exambulance, probably, because I literally only published it probably half an hour ago. I've been working on it all day, and it's actually nighttime where I am. So yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy day, just trying to, it will change a lot over the next few days just because we are building it. Everything's had to respond very quickly to this. So if you go, let me share my screen, and I think the link should be done by now. It was literally being built as I came on to become live. That's partly the reason why I was late. Okay, we're there. So let me find Zoom again and share my screen. So if you go to tailoredtutors.co.uk, you'll see on our home screen this block right on tailoredtutors.co.uk. You don't have to go anywhere. And then you've obviously got the biology link right here to take you into the biology Exambulance. So that's assuming the link works, because nothing's been tested because it's all super last minute. Oh, it's already enrolled me in the course because it's got my details in there. You will have to, if you are new to Tailored Tutors, then you will have to, there's one more step that you won't have seen. You will then just need to complete the information, and then you'll come through to the Exambulance itself, which will actually, when you're inside it, look a little bit like this. So let me give you a quick virtual tour. I will get onto, basically the aim of today is to gather all the information that we need so we can teach you as effectively as possible, making sure we're covering the right topics. If there's time at the end, I will do like a super quick demo lesson to show you kind of the style of what's going to be going on over the next couple of every day, basically every day 10 a.m. I'm going to be here doing AS content, and every day 11 a.m. doing year 13 content, A-level content. So this is the overview page. This is our little traffic light system. So if you mark lessons red, amber, or green as you go, and these are going to correspond to the papers that are inside of here, and these little dots are going to change color. So I would highly recommend using your traffic light system inside the course, especially as you're doing these papers, because you're going to start sort of seeing the page populate. You can see which ones you find difficult, which ones you find easy. I'm actually going to start with the AS study schedule. Whilst I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the comments. So if you've got questions specifically for me, just leave them for the time being. I'll let you know when I'm not screen sharing, I'll be able to have the comments open. Okay, so it's not the right command, is it? It's basically, we have produced a nice schedule for you. We've got 3 phases for you AS students, year 12 students. First of all is what we're working on right now, the green phase, phase 1, finishing the AS content. So this is this week. This is today. So we have basically a PDF. You can download this and print this out. If you want to download it, you can download it with the link underneath here. So I've proposed some content that these are the common blocks of content between AQA, OCI, and EdXL at the end of the AS level. Most teachers start at the beginning of the spec, work their way through it. It's not the way that I would choose to do it, but that's what most teachers do. So today's introduction and overview, we got some meiosis and stuff. This is going to underpin so many important things, meiosis and diversity. It underpins all of the adaptation, all of the inheritance, all the speciation and evolution is going to be completely controlled by much of the meiosis. So super important we get that right. So you can see the proposed topics. They're going to be flexible. This may change because I'm going to get some feedback from you guys today as to what topics you most need to do in terms of the AS. Then we move into phase 2, the blue phase, which is working through some past papers using the TT revision method. So there's a little bit of information on the TT revision method here. We'll be coaching you through that. This is where we're going to be using the past papers to form the backbone of our structure of our revision, so that you know that you're revising the most important topics, you're revising the topics that come up the most often, you are testing yourself on exam skills as well as on topics, and it's completing, now that we've completed the content, we're going to be completing your year. And we will put some mock exams in here that we can maybe all do together, so that you basically get a bit of if you're not doing exams at school, then we can host those mock exams and you can complete them with us. And then The yellow phase is when we're going to be introducing you to the A-level content. So you can start getting a head start now. As I said, you year 12s are going to be in a real difficult spot because teachers are going to be massively behind with delivering content. So getting a head start with the A-level content is going to be really key. Because otherwise it's just going to be really difficult. It's going to have all sorts of implications that nobody can quite completely predict. But what we do know is that it's not going to cause people to be ahead. People are going to be behind. And we want to just basically take this opportunity to make sure that no student, that's why we're doing this on YouTube. Like, it's a crazy time right now. Our full courses still exist. You can still subscribe to get all the videos, all the content guide stuff, all the exam guide stuff. If you want to ask me questions directly and get help with your work, if you're concerned that you really want to get ahead, maybe you want to do medicine or veterinary or dentistry and you're worried this is really going to impact your future plans, maybe you want to be a doctor and that's been your plan forever, you just really want to get ahead, the full courses are still there if you want to use them. The hour a day I'm doing on YouTube, I'm just trying to make sure that every student out there has got some access to decent teaching that they can then complete the content. Okay. Any questions? I'm now back looking at the chat. So give me any questions you got and I will then, how are we doing for time? Oh, 15:15, I'm not too far behind already. Nessie, it's what teachers do. Most teachers, whether you like them or you don't, most of them do like to help. Yeah, we're going to make a playlist. Great question there, Kate. We're going to make a playlist. So I guess this will be video 1. If you're watching this, yeah, the main teaching is going to come Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. every day. Come and join us live. Hit the bell if you want notifications of when we're doing live. I'm also going to be doing additional lives that are not part of that schedule on an ad hoc basis. I'm going to be doing some stuff about the coronavirus and like the course of infection, how it attaches, linking that back to A-level biology. So there will be some A-level biology related stuff in there. Obviously, coronavirus is not part of the A-level biology spec, but viruses are. I can show you the differences between that and HIV and how it works. So there's going to be lots of stuff like that. As I said, I'm going to keep the core content of what I'm going to do. If there's demand for it, I might make some of them exam board specific and do an AQA and then an OCR, then an EdExcel. If I can't do that, then I'm going to be making sure the content that I'm covering is common to everybody, or I'll make sure that you know the differences between OCR need to call it this and EdExcel need to call it that and AQA need to call it this. Okay, so don't worry about topics just yet. With topics is going to basically be the focus for what we're going to figure out this afternoon. What will you need when you're taking notes? Who's one of my subscribers right here? What color system do I use when I'm teaching my lessons? What colors? That's going to be a little test for you. A little clue in my hand. You got it. So it doesn't have to be one of these pens. You're going to need a red, blue, green, black pen. And you're going to need some paper. That's how I designed my learning system when I started out. I wanted it to be something that any student could do, access very simply. I'm going to be making most of my notes landscape. All my course videos are landscape. A couple of reasons behind that. But obviously it fits on a 16:9 video much more neatly, but there's also other reasons as well. It's going to make your notes that you make with me different to the notes you've made everywhere else. And it's going to help them form a stronger memory trace because of that. So pad of paper, A4 preferably, red, blue, green, black pen, you're good to go. Obviously, at some stage, as we move into the papers, you're going to need your scientific calculator because we are going to be doing some stuff like that. There will also be, any scale type stuff in an exam. You're going to need your ruler and a sharp pencil, things like that. But I can take care of that. Basically, that's everything you're going to need. Right, okay, let's start thinking about some of the topics. I'm going to sort of start building sort of I don't know, I haven't planned this in any way. This is all new. So I'm going to, where's Zoom gone here? I'm going to share my iPad and I'm going to start composing a list of the topics which are common to all the exam boards. So let's have a crack at this. Let's see how good my brain is. Let's see how much I need to refer to any specs, but I'm going to do it off the top of my head first of all. Okay, so blue in my color system, if you are new to this, is going to be titles and subtitles. So I'm going to title this AS content. Oh, my handwriting. I'm going to try and make my handwriting a bit neater these days. Content. I don't know how many pages this is going to take. I'm going to start with the biological molecules. I know you've probably covered most of this already because this is at the beginning of most of the specs and most teachers start at the beginning. So within that, we have basically condensation and hydrolysis reactions. If you ever get asked for a type of reaction, it's one of those two. There's no other types of reaction. Precipitation of DNA in the OCR spec could be an answer there, but 99 times out of 100 if it's a type of reaction and it's not about like if it's clearly not the DNA precipitation practical, which OCR students need to do, then it's condensation or hydrolysis. Okay, we've also got carbohydrates. Super common questions in there. Comparison of starch to cellulose at Excel, particularly love that, but it could be glycogen to cellulose. It could be amylopectin to amylose, possible, unlikely though. We've got then proteins. So there's protein structure, and we've obviously got how they're formed, but protein synthesis is going to come up later on. We're going to have enzymes. I'm going to separate those out because they're pretty big topics unto themselves. We've got DNA and nucleic acids. So most of this is common to all of you. OCR need to know a little bit extra about ribose and stuff like that, and purines and pyrimidines, but the core nucleus of what you need to know is all the same. Nucleic acids. We've got ATP, water, and inorganic organic ions. And how am I going to put? I'm actually going to put, what else do I want to put in here? I'm actually going to put DNA replication, which is obviously semi-conservative. Okay, DNA, and I'm also going to put protein synthesis. I think I don't have to stick to any spec right now, which is quite nice. I can just do it my own way. So that's one major subcategory. And then lipids and membranes. Yeah, let's do lipids and membranes. I remember I'm doing this off the top of my head, and I will go back and double check, but lipids and membranes links us quite nicely, probably in towards cells, which is going to be my sort of second subheading. Obviously cell membranes, surface cell membranes. OCR super pedantic about the use of the word surface cell membranes. So cellulose would come into carbohydrates. I'm just a big bracket terms right now. I'm just going to try and summarize the whole AS content in probably 2 pages. So the schedule does cover most things, but I'm going to put everything down here in such a way that I'm expecting, okay, give me a quick answer on this. Have you, first of all, first question, have you covered the biological molecules, everything that I've written down so far? Yes or no? Give me a quick yes or no in the chat. Second thing I want is a number, how confident you feel. 1 to 10, 10 being very confident, and 0 or 1 being 0 confidence. So I'm assuming this is where most people start. OCR called this foundations in biology. It is pretty foundational. Let me just get an idea for some of these scores. I might even write down a bit of a mean here. Very qualitative mean of 7. I'm going 7 to 8. Okay. Good. I was kind of expecting that, to be honest. So far, so good. Cells. So we've got lipids and membranes, prokaryotes versus eukaryotes. Super common topic that they like to examine. Sometimes it's a detailed question. Sometimes it's a little one marker over here, looking at the differences between the organelles, looking between the differences between the DNA. looking at the differences between not usually the way they divide. I mean, AQA have a tiny bit in there about binary fission, but it's pretty insignificant, and it's 2 bullet points. It's all you need to know. Okay, so we've got cell organelles. Generally, we're going to need to know about prokaryotic cell organelles, and we've got a little bit about eukaryotic cell organelles. Again, Edexcel do some slightly weird, but not weird ones, but ones that you don't need to know about from any other example. So I'm going to be going around all the common content ones. Okay. Transport across membranes probably kind of fits into this. Things entering and leaving cells. I might just call it cell zone transport. How am I doing for time? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm going to need to speed up a little bit here, so I'm going to get a little bit less worried about my categories. So we've got diffusion, facilitated diffusion. We've got active transport. We have co-transport. We have osmosis and endo/exo cytosis, which I should have written as 2 separate words, but I'm running out of space. Okay, let's do that. Have you covered it? Have you covered, have you covered it? Yes or no? And if you've not, then maybe you've not done bits of it. Have you covered it? Yes or no? And then again, after you've given me that, give me a score out of 10. Yeah, I probably can throw microscopes in there, I think. In fact, I'll wait until I'll do, in fact, because I've told you to answer it, I'm going to do, also pretty 70. My completely non-scientific mean is pretty similar, about 7. Okay, microscopes. The root tip squash is a common practical. I don't want to get into too much detail there. Okay. When next in the spec? Covered quite a lot of the first year spec already. DNA replication, ATP, water. Oh, okay, cells. I mean, whilst we're under cells, let's do cell division. Cell division, so we've got mitosis. In my little shorthand, that little drop down arrow is just like stems from. And we've got meiosis. Okay, have you covered both of those? Well, it does seem to have frozen. Well, it's probably, I've just paused it accidentally. Resume share. Microscopes, quite right. That is shocking handwriting. 3 out of 10 for that, I think. Okay, cell division, mitosis, meiosis, that leads us on to basically genetic diversity. Maybe this is a nice way of doing it, just sort of freestyling my way across the page. So with genetic diversity, we've got crossing over, independent segregation. It's going to basically change now your frequency. So genetic diversity, I'm not going to go into inheritance just yet, but we've got selection. Natural selection is what Edexcel are going to call it. OCR and AQA are going to go into a bit more detail about directional and stabilizing selection. We've got selection pressures. And then you've got adaptation, basically. Adaptation. And eventually you're going to get to evolution, but evolution actually comes into the year 2 part of the spec. So we're not going to get as far as speciation and evolution. Okay, you haven't done meiosis. Okay, so not. Yeah, okay, if I'm writing something down and you've not done it, let me know, just not, and then the title. So that means something. That was something that basically I'm going to cover. That was proposed for tomorrow, actually, is meiosis. Anything else on the list so far that you have not covered? Bits of genetic diversity. Yeah, I'm pushing towards the second half of the spec now. Root tip squash is one of the pracs. It's not content. Evolution you won't have done. Evolution's next year. So in fact, I'm just going to delete evolution. Adaptation is as far as it gets in the AS. Not very good on ATP. Okay, I'll do what you're not very good on. Let's do what if you've just not done it. Endocytosis and exocytosis, to be honest, this is you're probably an AQA student. AQA students, I'm going to put that one in brackets. It's basically not on the spec. I'd actually, what the wording in the spec? Haven't done adaptation. Okay, that's probably to be expected. Okay, I'm going to keep going. What's next? Maybe can I follow on anywhere from this nicely? Viruses can go in with prokaryotes for now. Okay, we've got basically exchange. So I'll put like surface area to volume ratio. It's probably, and then we've got, okay, so gas exchange is not done by Edexcel, but it's a major topic for the rest of you. We've got insects, fish, plants. I'm just going to put gas exchange for now. I'm not going to go into digestion. That's an AQA only topic. We've got mass transport in animals. It's going to be lots of, so we've got the cardiovascular system, so heart and hemoglobin. Blood vessels, that kind of stuff. And then we've also got mass transport. In plants. Well, we've got transpiration or transpiration and translocation. Okay, I'm going to come back and why does it do that? I don't know what's going on. Can you see my screen again now? It's got a green frame around it. Green frame is usually like working. I'm going to just try fixing something here. I don't know what's going on right now. Let me just pull this into this window and see if that changes things. I'm coming to immunity, don't worry. Just trying to pick up any common threads here. I haven't done transport in plants and animals. I haven't done exchange. So bits of this appear to be okay. What next? So xylem, phloem, all that kind of stuff. We've got kind of DNA. I haven't done anything on here on DNA. So genes, chromosomes, but yeah, DNA, protein synthesis. I'm going to say I've covered all that in there. Mutations. Maybe there's a bit more on genetic diversity. I'm just going to branch this off here. Okay. In fact, really, my arrow's going the wrong way. Mutations are a driver of genetic diversity, to be pedantic. Frame shifts, all that kind of stuff. Down here, we've also got species and taxonomy. So like, yeah, I'm going to say I've given up on my titles. I'm just going to go species, classification, phylogeny, biodiversity, and then you've got sampling as well, so investigating diversity, so quadrats, and it's a very common topic, sampling. So I'm just going to put that as sampling. That all basically links into that macro stuff over there. And then the thing I haven't done yet is immunity, immune system. Okay, before I carry on, hold your horses there just a second. So again, anything that I've just covered, so exchange, give me anything's here that you've not covered in the exchange section. I've got a few notes down here. Haven't done biodiversity. You've covered all exchange, mass transport in plants and animals. Digestion is basically only an AQA topic, Katie, so tissue fluid would be in that mass transport section effectively, yeah. Haven't done classification of phylogeny. Yeah, I mean, you can see obviously every school is going to cover this in a different order. So I'm just going to pick the things that I can do the best. I'm going to try and cover nearly everything by the end. It's going to be quite whistle stop, but I will be teaching it. Phylogeny is classifying species in order of evolutionary relatedness. Okay. So I've got most of those. Immune system. What have we got for immune system? So we've got phagocytosis, T cells, and B cells, or lymphocytes, primary and secondary. Obviously pretty relevant right now, response. As every single person is going through primary response for coronavirus, for COVID-19 right now, because nobody has the antigens, because it's a novel pathogen. We've obviously got active passive immunity, antibodies. That's basically one topic. Okay, so give me a little heads up here as to have or have not done immune system, haven't finished it. I'll just give this vaguely topic of biodiversity. Very mixed on the immune system. I'd say HIV and viruses would probably come into where I've written it bottom left, cells and transport, but okay. So next question, what topics were you, give me your exam board with this, because I need to know what's your exam board. So give me your exam board and which topic you were doing when you left. You might have to just do this a little bit slowly because I'm not sure. You're going to need to give it to me in the same comment. I can't remember AQA and then the topics. You're going to have to say AQA, just like Astia has done. So immune. Stop. You can carry on in a minute, but just stop right now because basically AQA was exchange. Mass transport. The disease, also immune. cardiac cycle is mass transport in animals. More immune times 2. Right, let's do a tally. It's going to be way more sensible. Moving on to genetic diversity. Gas exchange. Okay, so basically most of the topics towards the end, as I'd kind of expected. And okay then, so what would be your, in fact, I'm just going to go AQA. Just let's split this up because I'm going to break this up. I didn't see any EdXL students in there. AQA only. Which topics have you not covered yet? Which topics have you not covered yet? If you've covered it but you didn't feel strong on it, I'm going to ask a separate question about that in a minute. Topic 3 and topic 4. Genetic diversity. Mass transport in animals, variation. Species and taxonomy. Okay. Wow, your teachers just go through the spec from the start to the end. I'm quite surprised. Well, I'm not surprised actually. 3.4 and 3.3. Okay. OCR next. Which topics have you not done yet? So just OCR. I'm assuming probably module 4. Okay, plant transport. In fact, you don't even need to see me writing this. I can just write this. You can just the evolution part, biodiversity. Okay, also the end. Wow. Okay. Teachers surprise me. Microscopes. Microscopes is at the beginning. That's interesting. At the beginning. The natural selection. Yeah. Any EdXL students here? There's very few of them in general. By numbers. By numbers, it's very slim. Just let me know if you've got any EdXL students in the room. Just let me know if you are EdXL first. Give me a yes or write EdXL just so that I can see who we got. Well, I'm just going to pretty much make the decision that you or your teachers are working from the beginning of the spec to the end of the spec. And that's why I built the plan. Okay, so give me now any exam board, topics that you have done, but you're not confident on. Meiosis. Transport across membranes. Membrane in general. Morphomeiosis. Heart. Genetic diversity, cell cycle, transcription, translation. They are pretty key as well. Mass transport in animals. Okay, that gives me everything I need to know. What I'm going to show now is actually just inside the course and show you a few things that I'd like you all to do before tomorrow. Very simple homework from me today. Where's my course gone? Here. Okay, so I've shown you how to find the Exambulance for biology. So you're in here, you will have, in fact, it's in the YouTube comments, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to do a bit of a loop in loop. Okay, so you've got your documents and downloads here in the comments. You can pick your exam board. I don't know what's happened to my link here. I'll fix the edXL link, but give me a little bit. If you take this one as an example, this will take you into my content guide, the content guide that I used to teach my subscribers. I've made some of the lessons in here previewable so that anyone can just view them for the time being. With this link, you will see choose your exam board, and you will have the AQA documents over here. So I want you all to download a digital copy of the specification, and I want you to just go through it, and I want to give yourself, and I want you to tick off the things that you have done, and maybe give yourself a little score out of 10 for how confident you feel about it. And you could maybe do that section by section, tick all the subpoints, every little single point, and then maybe for each 3.4.2, you can maybe give yourself a little score out of 10 for how confident you are about that. So there's also some other useful things in here, my cheat sheets, command words, the annotation abbreviations, these are all exam board specific ones. So just make sure you're in the right exam board when you're doing this. You'll get all the MIDs actually in the Exambulance, so ignore this middle column for the time being. And these are documents from AQA themselves. So these are not ones that I've produced. These are ones, but download a copy of the spec, go through it, just tick and cross. Have you done it? Have you not done it? And then if you have done it, how confident are you on that section as a whole? Or maybe you just like, you're quite confident on the section, but there's just like, oh, I just didn't get tissue fluid. I missed that lesson. I was away from school. And then just make sure you flag those and make sure that you are aware of it, because this is our opportunity to go back, loop around and do that all. You then see, once we're inside here, I've scheduled meiosis and diversity for tomorrow. And I think there's plenty of people who said that that's either a problem topic or you haven't done it yet. So I will be doing a session on that at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Obviously have a look around here. The MID sheets you're not going to need just yet, but the MID sheets are going to be useful when we get to phase 2. So don't worry about them just yet. If you do want to have a look around the content guide, then you can use these buttons. Oh, I put the wrong theme buttons in there, but never mind. As I said, everything's a bit of a work in progress for the time being. So that's pretty much what we got for today. I would say if you're a year 13, obviously I'm going to be doing a very similar kind of thing. The whole purpose of this session is getting you into the course and finding out what I can be most useful for in my hour a day between now and we don't know when we're going to stop, but for the foreseeable future, basically through to the end of the summer. I'm assuming schools are not going to reopen before you would have broken up for summer holidays. So we are going to be here to teach, spread the word, let your teachers know that we're going to be doing this. Your teachers, if your teachers want to sign up to our school program, you get all of the content guide materials from the school. The school signs up, it's free for the school. Your teachers must sign up for it though. So just point your teachers to let them get in touch with us, and we will set up your school with the Tailored Tutors content guide. You can't ask us questions because obviously we have thousands of students using that for free, so we don't have the time to answer questions in there, but that's, just tell your teachers, because then everyone in your class can have it. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to be back online at 11 o'clock, and we will be here and do basically an overview of what's coming up in the common content for year 13s. We'll put this into a playlist. Give us some time. We're going to try and get everything sorted. Like, this is very last minute planning. Like, there wasn't very much planning, so we're going to create a playlist. It will be the year 12 biology exam, study at home exambulance course. And there'll be a playlist on YouTube. So this will be video 1. And yeah, I'm going to try and make this as engaging as I can. I'm also going to try and make it as useful as I can. I'm going to make sure that you're fresh and everything. Plus, I'm going to tease in loads of little exam technique as we go, because that's my skill. I know the content. Loads of people know the content. I know the exam better than nearly anyone. So stick with me. And if you work with us between now and your exams at the end of 2021, I guarantee you're going to be just fine. It's those students who don't have any support and don't have any access. And that's why we're doing on YouTube. We don't want students to just fall down the holes because of this crazy situation that we're in. See you tomorrow. Tell your mates. We'll be here. It's going to be free. I want to see some more numbers. I want to get those numbers accumulating. Okay. Check out the TT website. Sign into the Exambulance course. It's all free. Go use it. And we'll be building it out, changing it, and yeah, and all the rest of it. See you again soon, tomorrow, 10 a.m.